alone.
Hi, welcome to Ask Around Yorktown. Today we're excited to do a show on the Relay for Life. And we're very pleased that we're going to have Jane McCarthy and Donna DeAndrea. And both of them are going to share a great deal of information and some background on one of the most exciting events that takes place in Yorktown. I know that it was mentioned that the Relay for Life takes place in 5,000 communities and over 21 countries. But I think everyone here in Yorktown knows that it's extra special here. And we're excited to welcome both Jane and Donna to share exactly why it's so special in Yorktown.
Hi, Trissy. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Hi, Donna.
Thank you for having us. We're very excited that you have us here.
Thank you. So I just thought first we would ask a little information about how long the Relay for Life has been going on here in Yorktown.
We've had the Relay for Life for 6 years now. This is our 6th year, and actually Donna is one of the first people that was on the committee 6 years ago, and this year we're hoping to hit $1 million mark. We're very close to hitting the $1 million mark over the past 6 years for Relay for Life. This town has such generosity and such community, and it all comes together on June 10th this year, 2011. Behind the Yorktown Community Center at Jack DeVito Field is where the event begins, and it's like a carnival atmosphere. We have kids from all ages, from kindergarten, actually preschool, right through seniors. The beautiful thing about Relay for Life is it's not about a sports team, it's not about a school, it's about cancer and how we can help fight back against cancer and make the community come together and for a cause and make a difference. And Donna can tell us a little bit about what's going on online so far, because we have some great results today.
Oh, great.
Well, we do have 116 teams signed up online, and we've raised online at over $100,000. So right at that mark, $100,000. And we have amazing online. I mean, there are things that you can do online this year that are so much better than in the past year on the website. People can send out videos asking for donations, which I think is great, and you can hook up right to Facebook and Twitter, and all that media is out there, and it's a great way to get donations, and I think that really helps.
Right, and so it becomes an event that kind of, I think we were talking earlier about the season, that feeling that it goes on for several weeks. It's not just
weeks. We start in September.
Yeah.
I think we start as soon as we finish.
It's interesting. We have a kickoff in February, which starts the movement for Relay for Life, and I call it the Purple Power of Yorktown. And then from there, we have on May 6th this year, we had Paint the Town Purple. And how we get involved with Paint the Town Purple is we get all of the businesses in the community involved. We actually start at 7 o'clock in the morning. We put balloons out. We go to them beforehand. We let them know about Relay for Life. We've developed a one-pager that we hand to them so that they're aware of everything that goes on with Relay for Life, how they can start a team, how they can join a team, how they can donate to this cause, how they can sign up as a survivor. And then from that Relay for Life, Paint the Town Purple, we then have the momentum for the June 10th event. One of the most fun things that happened this year for the Relay for Life, Paint the Town Purple, we always think we're doing this huge effort, and it's kind of like a mini relay. It's run by another set of committee members, which are all involved in the real relay, but this is the awareness day, and we have a boot drive that raises $3,000, which is actually a woman who came from Ossining because she saw how great the Yorktown Relay was, and she worked with Monica Garrigan's mother. Monica Garrigan and her mother worked together, and her mother passed away from cancer 7 years ago, and so she has a soft spot in her heart for the Yorktown Relay and for Monica Garrigan, who happens to be the community executive for the American Cancer Society and the overall chair for this event.
And what does that boot drive, what does that actually entail?
We had people, and the great thing is that so many teams rallied to help out that day with Lorraine's Lightkeepers, and we had different team members from all different teams, from Loress, from Stars of Hope, out in the middle of the street, collecting change for a change, in Yorktown, and it made a huge difference. And then we had other events that night where Donna may want to speak about Dancing with the Yorktown Stars.
It was a wonderful event that started out with just a little bit of a thought. One of our teams got together and they said, why don't we try something like this? Let's just see how it goes. And it was unbelievable how it went from they were going to have 100 people to 250 people. And Trissy knows, and Trissy was our champion. And we had, you know, Stars of Yorktown, or highway superintendent, and principals from the schools, and Trissy, and we had store owners, you know, business owners,
the
and
whole
it was
community
so
out.
great.
It really
Like
brought
a
the community
kickoff.
together. It
Yes.
was, and teachers from the school came to
Yes.
to cheer on their principal, and it was an amazing event. And
fun. And
they
lots of
raised
purple
over $10,000 that
Yes.
evening. You know, it was just wonderful. So
And that's the neat thing is that you allow the teams to kind of think outside the box.
Oh, absolutely.
And so-
And they do
Right.
think outside the box.
And that's
They
what I was
do.
thinking. We would even mention a little bit how you become a team, because I think you said there's over 116 teams already.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're interested in participating as a team, how do you go about doing that?
There's a website that you would go to,
relayforlife.org/Yorktown NY.
relayforlife.org/YorktownNY.
Right. And it very simple, takes you right through the steps to participate, start a team, be the captain.
Right.
Then you'll get, you know, like we have teams from teachers in the schools have started a team,
Right.
and the Lions Club has a team, and we have many businesses in Yorktown, and you know, even Westchester that have come that are, you know, teams. So and I started a team. I was not the captain of my team at one point. I kind of just swiggled into that one.
Right.
And just a bunch of friends, and it was actually our first, really, our team was basically our relay committee the first year.
Right.
And you know, we started out with how many teams, and 25 teams, and it grew and it grew and it grew, and now we're up to 116.
And I
it's
noticed
just-
that you also include a lot of the youth in the community,
Oh,
which
that's
is so
that's what
important.
makes it
Yeah.
so special. And I
Right.
was, you know, I was going to bring that up. It really makes it so special. Some of these kids are, their heart and soul goes into these teams, and you know, it's great. It gives them so much purpose. You know, it's something to do for them, and it's so great. And I mean, some of these kids that come, and they've joined our committee, and
Right.
I'm in awe of these kids. I really am. I just love every bit about them. They're just.
Their
They're just
energy
great
level
kids.
and their passion.
Yeah, it's
we've
amazing.
always
They
felt that
will
way.
do. I mean, and they come up with all these fundraisers that I'm like, why didn't I think of that? You
Right.
know? Why couldn't we think of that? You know, like a can jam, or you know, they play. I don't know if you've seen that game. It's a frisbee game, and they play
Oh,
that, and
Ultimate
they
Frisbee
right,
game,
like it's
right.
kind of like ultimate frisbee, and they'll play whatever. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
amazing, and it's just the things that they come up with.
I think one of the things that I've learned with the schools is that we have a ton of teachable moments with this Yorktown relay, and we're able to go into the schools. They've given us the carte blanche almost to go in, do assemblies. Every school in our district is involved. We had just last year adopted a chain of hope, and that was a way to get the school children involved without having to ask them to donate. So if they wanted to get involved in the event, they could by filling out a piece of paper and putting a message of hope or remembrance for someone that they may have known who has had cancer or someone who has survived. And we have a chain that actually wraps the field in a community of hope from every school in the district.
And they did the paper chain.
And it's a
just
paper
like
chain,
that.
like a link, and they love doing it. And we had a car wash, our team had a car wash last week, and a little boy was having so much fun watching us that his mother left him. We didn't know this child. He knew one of the older girls.
Right.
He was actually an incredibly good worker.
Right.
He was so good, and
He joined the team.
you know what? They see
That's how you start
people
Yes.
see Relay for Life, and they know it's a good cause,
Right.
and they know that there's people in this community that are out for only doing good,
That's right.
and we're teaching our children that whole essence of giving back with not expecting anything, just to help a cause.
And that's such an important service. And I think, and one of the components that I love about the Relay for Life is not only are you teaching them to participate, that they understand in this particular situation there is fundraising involved, and they're a big part of the fundraising. But I love that the money that is raised, and I'd love for you to just talk a little bit about that, Jane, as to where the majority of those funds and how they do come back.
There are a ton of different places where the money goes within the local New York, New Jersey region. 3 that I'd like to speak about are the Hope Lodge. Hope Lodge is down in Manhattan, and it's an American Cancer Society funded through our donations, a place that people can go who have to have cancer treatments that may not live in New York City, and they're able to go in and get food and lodging for free. We went down, our committee cooked for the Hope Lodge patients. It is a beautiful environment. There's a sanctuary. It's a very reverent, wonderful place to go. If you have to go through cancer, it's wonderful that Hope Lodge is something that we have been able to make available through our funds. Another one is Look Good, Feel Better, and that's actually run by 2 of our local hairdressers, Loresse Salon. So it's the Kathy and Julianne Faris, and also their sister Loretta.
Okay.
And they run the Look Good, Feel Better program, and that's for cancer patients who are going through chemo and want to learn how to do their makeup, or maybe have to get a wig or fix their hair. And then the other one is that we have a Road to Recovery, where we offer through the American Cancer Society that they can actually get rides for cancer patients to their chemotherapy. There are other ways that the American Cancer Society uses the money. We had last year in the New York and New Jersey region over 100,000 calls go into the 800 number for the American Cancer Society. So it's nice when you're doing something within the community and you actually see how it makes a difference.
Right.
One of the things that we've done with the children in the schools is how this is different than like a breast cancer walk is we really want everybody to raise $100. We love when people raise much more.
Right.
But $100 if you're on a team is really what we're looking for. If you have a Poland Springs bottle, a 16-ounce Poland Springs bottle, and you fill it with dimes, you'll get to $97. We told that to the teachers in Crampon School, and they started a contest within the school, and each classroom has
The Poland.
Poland Spring bottle where they're filling the dimes, because our theory is a little bit from a lot.
Right.
We're not asking for a lot. We want a little bit from everyone.
And the nicest part, again, then they own the actual event that happens, and then beyond that, they understand that it's really helping, that you're not, that we've always had that feeling that, okay, there's research and there's other areas that are very important, but sometimes it is those activities such as making sure that they are comfortable and that their families are comfortable, that this is not one person that goes through an experience like this. There's a whole family involved, and when you can provide a ride, you're actually you're really making the entire family feel like they're cared for. And it's just, I think it's so important that not just the children, that obviously every team involved really understands that it's great to be a part of something, and it's even better to realize that you're, where all of your efforts are going.
Right.
And I know we had talked about a great amount of fundraising that you could do online that hasn't always been there.
Right.
And you have some of the groups using Facebook.
And it makes it easier to ask that question. Ask for that donation, because some people are hesitant to write a letter or whatever, or just ask straight, face to face, and it just makes it easier. Push that send button, and it comes out. And I on my Facebook page, I ask for $10 from each of my Facebook friends, and however many I have, not that many, but whatever. But and it's amazing what comes back to you. It just like that.
It does, and we've said many times. A lot of times, be it community service or funding, sometimes people really do just want to be asked.
Right.
And it's a lot easier to ask. Sometimes in a less invasive way, to be able to say, this is what we do with the Relay for Life. Would you like to be a part of it, either by participating on a team or by participating in an event? And I love that whole feeling of ownership. Speaking of ownership, do you know about how many people participate perhaps in the last Relay for Life, or because I just know that you see people for as far as you can see.
Well, what do we have, about 800 people coming as teams, as part of a team this year, but they'll be well over 2,000, I would imagine.
We had over 3,000.
It's like,
2,000 to 3,000 last year.
Yeah, it's a big carnival. It's a big party on the field, and everybody's looking, people just come just to walk and up and down, and it's like a street fair,
And for people that don't know what it is, that is exactly it. It's a carnival. We have a jousting pit. We have a bouncy castle. We have hot dogs. It's a place where you want to come, even if you haven't donated yet.
Right.
You could bring your money that night, and you could donate that night. Last year we raised $50,000 the night of Relay. We have teams that do very creative items that night. Our theme this year is Candyland, how sweet it is, and a cancer-free world, how sweet it is. And we have 2 teams that are going to be Candyland teams this year. And what they'll do is they'll actually dress up as characters, and they'll present information about how cancer can be prevented, and talk about the American Cancer Society's put sunscreen on, go get checked by your doctor if you feel a lump. Anything that has to do with getting the message out in the mission for the American Cancer Society, and they'll put that in with their Relay fundraiser, which is great. Also, that's a group of kids that will be doing that.
And it's a gentle awareness message, and if you've learned that from the time that you're young, that becomes instilled and ingrained, that you want the people that you love to always check for these things.
Absolutely.
And it's very interesting, even that night, again, that the youth come out, that the seniors come out, families come out. You see families walking together, and then maybe we can go through a little bit of, so the atmosphere is that carnival atmosphere, but then I think it does, there's something I know that you work with closely, Donna, is the survivors dinner, and then the process with survivors, if you could share that.
I've been doing the survivor dinner since the beginning, and local restaurants in the area are so generous, and they donate 2, 3, 4 trays of food, and we usually have an overabundance of food, which is great. This year, we actually have outgrown our area where we have had it in the past. We did it in the Jack DeVito Field, of course, at the gazebo, and we have outgrown it. And so we are now in a large tent where the registration used to be, and the Luminaria sales, which we'll talk about. And it's going to be a great event this year. We have probably over 100, probably 125 survivors that will be there this year. And that in itself is
overwhelming.
It's really overwhelming. And these survivors that come, the conversations that I've had in the past with them, they're just so inspiring. They are amazing people. And they really are so excited to be there that it's great. It really is. It's the conversations, like I said, it's just I just can't even tell you how inspired I am by them.
And it seems like a night where they're embraced for what they've fought and what they
One person told me that they came out of it so uplifted. Like they went there so apprehensive, and they left with a big smile on their face, and they just wanted to come back and back and back, and it was, perfect. It was great.
And then they do the initial lap?
They'll do the survivor lap at 7 o'clock when we start, right after that, and they'll, hopefully, they'll stay for the Luminaria ceremony, which is, do you want to talk about Luminaria?
It's at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
One of the things also to say about survivors, in the United States, there are over 11 million Americans who with a history of cancer who are alive today. And with that, the cancer mortality rates are actually decreasing. So we are here to celebrate our survivors. And if someone is watching this today, they can go onto the website and they can find out, and they actually can sign up to be at the survivor dinner. They don't have to join a team. Okay. They can come and be celebrated that night. But if they'd like to join a team, they're more than welcome to do that. Then we have one of our most touching and moving events of the evening, and that is at 10 o'clock, and it's our luminaria ceremony. We have 2,000 luminaria bags that are filled. These are $10 a piece, which is also a wonderful thing that we've gone around and told people that asking for $10 from 10 people, if they would like to fill out a luminaria. This is in honor of my friend Lisa Stefanoff, who was the kickoff speaker 2 years ago, and she is doing wonderfully well. She's actually a survivor of colon cancer, and on top of it all, she got engaged over Christmas, and her life is amazing, and she's a powerhouse that has a positive purple attitude, and she is one of the reasons that I'm involved in Relay for Life. So one of the other things that we've done that we adopted last year, like the Chain of Hope, is the ton of tuna. We used to fill the bags with sand, right, and it can get to be messy. If it's wet, it gets to be a problem. So we had done some research and found out that other relays had collected cans to use. And Monica and I talked, and she went to the Westchester and Putnam Food Bank. And the food bank said that they would love us to collect tuna because they go through 150 cans of tuna a week, wow, and it's not subsidized by the government. So we started a drive for tuna, which we are also doing again this year. There are boxes set up in all the schools. There are boxes set up behind, in the back of St. Pat's Church. Okay. They can go on the website and they can get in touch with one of us and tell us if they have tuna that they'd like to do. Lores offers, they actually donate the foil, and then we actually put this in the bag and light candles. Okay. And so, it keeps it weighted down. And we have Boy Scout and Girl Scout troops that actually light the bags throughout the night. And at 10 o'clock, we shut everything down. The carnival becomes a reverent time. There's no selling. Right. It's just a time where we discuss the luminaria and remember and celebrate those that are fighting and those that we lost. And it's a beautiful ceremony that is topped off by these gorgeous bags. We have people that decorate them with pictures of their relatives. Right. We have local teams that decorate them, and it's really the culmination of why we all do this. And as you walk, I know I walked with my family, and you stop and you read each one and you realize there's such a personal message, and that every light you're looking, and as far as you can see, are lights, and that each light represents that very personal message. I think it's extremely powerful. Yeah. And yet, like you said, it's very quiet, and you take just that little time to think about what is really going on. And in that festive environment, all of a sudden you just stop for a minute. Yes. And take in what you're seeing, and it's extremely, like you talk about purple power, but it's just it's a moment you don't forget. And one of the things that we realized, and we did it well last year, and we plan on doing it well this year, is that our committee works so hard all year on this, and they were missing that, which was how we came up with the idea that for that half hour, let's shut everything down and make sure that everybody that's involved gets their chance to be involved with, revering and taking care of why they're there for Relay for Life. No, I just definitely, I think that's that moment where everything comes, that's like the absolute tip of the evening. And then after that process, I know you kind of start, that slowly develops into the overnight part, and the so if the fun part. If you can share a little bit after, as the night starts to slow down a little. Well, they keep walking. I think this year we're going to have a movie that we're going to show the kids, the young kids that stay over.
We're going to try to do that, and we try to keep it a little bit lower. You know, we have an open mic for some of the young people in the area that they come and they'll sing their songs, and you see a lot of talent. It's great. Yeah, absolutely. And
we do like to make sure that if they are doing an open mic that they're part of a team.
Okay.
And they don't sign up the night of relay. So if there is someone watching this that is wanting to get involved, they have to do it prior to June 8th, which is bank night, so that they can be involved in relay and really be out there showing their skills.
Will you mention the website one more time too,
yes.
in case they're trying to
It's www.relayforlife.org / Yorktown, New York.
NY.
NY.
Okay.
NY.
Just Yorktown,
yes.
NY.
So.
No, that's perfect. And so that way they can still get involved all the way up to June 8th.
June 8th.
Yes.
Which is amazing. So that they have plenty of time. But and then the team, I think there's a process where at least one person from the team has to be walking. Is that how the
that's
the
what we
team
try to.
activity works?
That's what the relay, where the relay comes in. So one person from each team does have to try to be on the track at at all times.
And the whole reason behind that is Gordy Klatt is from the West Coast, and he started this in the 80s. And one of the reasons that he started this on a high school field is that he believed that we all should see what it's like to be a cancer patient, and cancer never sleeps. So he came up with the idea of walking the track, and since then, in the 80s, we're now up to 5,000 communities that are involved. Yorktown last year raised $280,000, and we were number 3 in the state. That was against, I have to tell you that one of the number 1 was a county. So Yorktown did pretty damn well against the others. We also came in number 1 in the actual metro region for a community event for Relay for Life. Our goal this year is to make $300,000 and to hit our $1 million mark, which we're really trying to hit even before June 1st. And the way to do that is for people to get their emails out and get the community to, in their community, emails make a huge difference. We have one woman who's been on the Relay for Life for 6 years. She has raised $8,000 this year. All of her fundraising has been through email.
Right.
So it does work.
So it is a matter of reaching out and asking people who would like to be asked. And I just I know we have a minute more, and I'm just trying to think what else. So that next morning, just the way things close out.
We have a wonderful closing ceremony where Father Augustine from St. Patrick's Church, who exudes generosity and peace, comes, and he actually does the sunrise ceremony for us, and that's how we close out the day. And everybody is home and in their beds by 7 a.m.
That's perfect.
And it's a great way to end the whole event.
That's
and you would never know that we had a relay there at 7 a.m.
Yeah, and the town does an incredible job. The town, through Jen Fava, Eric DiBartolo, and all of their staffs do an incredible job of making Relay for Life what it is in the time frame. And as Donna said,
they do it on their own time.
They do it on their own time.
Right, they volunteer.
It's as if it never happened. You come back 3 o'clock that afternoon, actually 9 o'clock that morning, and it's as if nothing happened.
And speaking of volunteers, I absolutely have to at least acknowledge that both Jane and Donna, that both of you do all of this as volunteers and as donations, and something that's near and dear to your heart. And I think that's truly really what makes Yorktown what it is. And I think there's no doubt that that's one of the big reasons.
I think so. We have a wonderful community here.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything you do, and we can't wait to see how everything goes.
Thank you. Pray for some.
Okay. And so we hope to see all of you at the Relay for Life, and have a nice day. Thank you.
It's a long road for you and me. It's a long